Hello, welcome to the 1950 Swiss Grand Prix. Farina, he carries over his win from Indianapolis into a pole position here. However, Reg Parnell, he has moved from Alfa Romeo to Maserati, so he is conspicuous by his absence from the front of the grid, and it's Fagioli and Fangio who take up the position, and championship leader louischiron is also boosted up from 5th to 4th. Alfa Romeo have replaced Parnell with Consalvo Sinisi, who will also start down near the back of the grid. Davidhampshire gets promoted to 5th, and then you've got Franco Roll, Byra, and then Harrison. So a few Maseratis lying up behind the Alfa Romeo. Chiron will hope that Maserati can refine their pace today, because they were miles off of it in Indianapolis. But the first two races of the season, of course, the Maserati was in a league of its own, or certainly in Chiron's hands it was. So in this race, we maybe reach a point where we really do see if Alfa Romeo and Maserati are going to be the quickest throughout the rest of the season. We've got Pagani and Branca. They made good of their races in Indianapolis to move well up the grid. Luigi Villaresi is up there in the Ferrari as well. So Ferrari haven't actually done too badly, have they? 11th, 15th, 16th. I mean, you know, they're not having much luck with reliability. But at some point, I'm sure Ferrari will get there. They've got a lot of ambition, but at the moment, they've not been convincing. They want to be the team to break the Alfa Romeo and Maserati stranglehold on points, but you know, they've not always been very close to it. There's other teams who have got closer because they have managed to finish races, and Ferrari haven't all that much. So there is, but there's plenty still to see. And if you get a good run of reliability, suddenly the likelihood is that you're starting quite high up the grid, and then you've got a good chance to attack for points, assuming you've got the pace to hold your own against those Alphas and Maseratis. And you only need one of those two teams to have a bit of an off day, and maybe you've got an opportunity there. So we'll see. Reg Parnell, we're going to look to see where he is. He's quite far back, not even numbered, but we know that classes as, I think, 29th, starts behind Sinisi, because of course Alfa Romeo ahead of Maserati in the constructors. So there we go then. So we see Farina, and we're going to, I think, switch over to Fagioli's camera, because then you can see the whole grid, and look at all of that colour there, all waiting to get off the line at Bramgarten. And Fagioli gets off the line quickly. It's slightly damp at the moment, but we expect it to dry, but Fagioli off the line quickly, and but he's having a bit of a tussle with Farina, and Fangio, and I think that will allow Farina to get up there. And look at those Maseratis behind. The Alphas are in a slide, but it's Maseratis who have taken the brunt of that, and I think Chiron is in a spin, and that is going to ruin many hopes Chiron had of getting up into the points. We're not necessarily going to see how quick he can be, but at the front, the Alfa Romeos are well clear. Farina leading through the very twisty hill section, and then you've got Fangio, and Pagani is up in the 4th, so he has made a fantastic start there, ahead of Hampshire, ahead of Byra. So Nelly Pagani in the Maserati, the Achille Vasi Maserati, doing very, very well. The first time that car has really shone, other than when Gonzalez has been in it. So yeah, good going. Can he hold on and get a few good points today? And will he have pace comparable to those Alfa Romeos? That we shall see. Farina leading at the moment, quite comfortable. Fagioli thought he was going to take it, but then he got in a bit of a tank slapper, and that delayed Fangio and the Maseratis and allowed Farina to get away quite nicely. Fagioli then second, Fangio is in third, but yeah, Pagani is giving Fangio a hard time already. So Maserati, they might well have a competitive car in this race. It's not the usual one that you would expect to see, but Pagani's had a little bit of a run onto the wet stuff there, trying to have a look at Fangio, but he realises at the moment that doesn't really work, and he's going to need a little bit longer. Mind you, now he's coming for it again, but again he can't get the grip offline at the moment, so he's having to tuck back in behind the Alfa Romeo there. And then we say, I think, is that Hampshire and Roll behind, having a little bit of a battle in those Maseratis? Yes, I believe it is. There's Hampshire. He is in 5th place now, and looking to get some points. It's actually Byra who's up against him, not Roll. I apologise, but Byra, a little bit of a tank slapper himself. So difficult to get any grip offline in these early stages of this Grand Prix. Pagani now has dropped back from Fangio a little bit. Once the Alfa Romeos get on long straights, they just come into their own and pull comfortably away. So there is Farina still in the lead, and a win for him today would do him lovely. That would potentially give him the championship lead. I think Chiron has gone out of the race, so Chiron hasn't just spun off, but he's now out of the race. So so Farina, a win would give him the world championship, but he can't afford getting any little slides like that, and he's very sideways. Farina coming down there, can he hold it? Oh, Oh, yes, he does. Fagioli in a similar predicament. He also gets away with it. And Fangio gains a little bit of ground on both of his teammates due to that, and he won't be complaining about that. There's Pagani still in fourth place, doing pretty well. Byra is ahead of Hampshire again. Then you've got Giro Cabantu and Salmano, and that's enough. And that is Benetto in the Maserati. He slides off. Don't think he's actually hit anything though, so he should be able to continue. Jeff Crossley is up behind Giro Cabantu having a push, and there are some drivers, I think, pitting for, well, I'm guessing for dries or fresh dries. It's hard to tell who's on what. Pagani has pitted, but I'm not sure if Pagani's retiring from the race, because there doesn't seem to be much activity in that Maserati.
Retired in sector 3.
Oh no, Pagani has retired. What a shame. He was having such a promising race. That is a major shame for Maserati, and plus Pagani would have been starting really well for the next Grand Prix. But the thing is, Farina, I think, has made a mistake. He's pitted, but Fagioli and Farina, Fagioli and Fangio have stayed out. Getting confused with all these Fs, and they have stayed out, and they are currently in P1 and 2, and Hampshire is in third. So Farina's dropped out, and there's a spun Talbot, and they've got to all make their way around him, and that's going to be tricky. Hampshire, will he avoid it? Yes, he will. That Talbot just looks like he's looks like a boat having a little cruise in a lake, doesn't he? But he's not going to be able to turn it around, I don't think. Farina avoids him successfully, so that's the first four. Will the guy behind Farina, is that Byra? Will he be able to avoid? Oh, Byra runs it quite a bit closer, but he does avoid any contact. So let's see, Fagioli then leading this Grand Prix now. For him getting Fangio and Farina muddled up. Fangio is in second place, so he'll be quite happy with this. I don't think Fangio has managed to get a podium hit of the season, so if he holds on and gets that today, Juan Manuel Fangio will be very, very content with his day's work, and it will pull him into contention in the World Championship. As things stand at the minute, with Farina not winning the race, I believe Chiron would still be in the lead of the championship, but you would see the potential of Fagioli to pull in level, and Farina to pull himself up into a competitive position as well, because they are both catching up, and with Chiron not scoring, it's going to give Alfa Romeo a chance to make up massive ground over Chiron's Maserati in that World Championship. And after that, with 3 races left, there is going to be a lot of effort from Alfa Romeo to make sure this World Championship is theirs. Chiron, I'm sure, will try to come back into it, but can he now? It seems like the magic of those early races has gone for Louis Chiron. Senesi has done really well. Is he up in 6th or 8th? I'm not entirely sure where Senesi is, but we know he's done well in that Alfa. He's used the pace and power of the Alfa Romeo to move himself up, and plus the fact that a few drivers have pitted and got out of his way, that helps massively as well. Here comes Fagioli. He runs through and down towards the, I think this is cobblestones. It looks like cobblestones. I'm not entirely sure what is further back, but Fagioli runs down.
Has won the race.
And he takes the win. It is a 2-lap race here in Bremgarten. So Luigi Fagioli wins the Swiss Grand Prix. Juan Manuel Fangio comes through in second place. And here is David Hampshire to take a podium finish. What a great performance from him. With Chiron out of the running, Hampshire becomes Maserati's lead driver here. And Farina comes home in fourth. He was closing in, but not anywhere near enough. And as ever on F1 Challenge, making a pit stop in a 5% race when the conditions, due to conditions, I'm assuming, it doesn't work out. And the guy who should have won the race quite easily, really, ends up in fourth place. So massive strategic error from Farina there. But Fagioli won't be complaining. He's now joint leader of the World Championship. So really well done for Fagioli, and that Talbot is still stranded there. So this is the race result then. Luigi Fagioli wins the Swiss Grand Prix for Alfa Romeo. Juan Manuel Fangio, he comes home in second place. Third is David Hampshire in the Maserati. Fourth for Giuseppe Farina in the Alfa Romeo. And fifth for Byra in the Maserati. Comotti, I believe he made his debut today, and he got that other Achille Vasi Maserati. Unfortunately, it was the one that started furthest back. But he got that up into sixth place. So maybe he could have beaten Byra if he'd have started higher up. Just the way the rules of this run, I'm afraid. De Graaf and Reed 7th. Senesi did well to get up to 8th from I believe was 27th, 28th on the grid, and Reg Parnell right down there with him finished in 9th. So those two are well set up for the next race. And Branca finished down in 10th in the end. So yeah, good little race, and we enjoyed it very much. And thank you for watching. And if you have enjoyed this, please feel free to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you are aware of when I next upload a video. So we'll have a quick look at the World Championship now. It's louischiron still in the top position on 18 points, but that is now levelled with luigifagioli, who is also on 18. Giuseppe Farina's on 15. Reg Parnell on 12. Juanmanuelfangio also on 12. Byra on 10 and Hampshire on 7. And only 7 drivers have scored points this season so far. Alfa Romeo lead the constructors on 57, and it's Maserati on 35. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you again soon. Take care.